Hi class, I'm making this video to give you some help to work on the mini case of chapter 9, cost of capital. So we know when we are calculating, we're trying to figure out the firm's values. When we're trying, this is our goal. For example, this is the equation to calculate the firm values. And you see free cash flow is how much profit the firm is making, and it's discounted by the discount rate in this equation is WACC, weighted average cost of capital. This is just the average cost of capital for firm to raise capitals from the market. So to get the WACC, we need to know like where does the capital come from. So to any of the firm in the market, so they can either raise the capital from the debt market or from the equity market. So we need to know the cost of debt and cost of equity. Since debt is just borrowing from bondholders, we can use the returns to the bondholders to use it as the cost of debt and do some modifications. And the same way, the returns to the shareholders, since the returns is paid by the company, so to the company it's just cost of equity. So we can use the returns of bond and returns to stock and then as the fundamentals to calculate the cost of debt and cost of equity. And then we can get the WACC here. So if beta is given, so cost of debt is just related to bond yield here. So, but since interest is tax deductible, so it gives some interest tax shield. So cost of debt would be lower than the returns to the bondholders. So we should just use bondholders' return and then multiply by its a factor to consider the tax impact. For cost of equity, if beta is given, so we can just simply using, you see this is familiar, this is just a CAPM model. So for cost of equity, if beta is given, so we can use CAPM model to get the cost of equity. And then we can get the WACC. If dividend is given, so cost of debt is still the same way as before. For cost of equity, we should use dividend growth model. But there's a flotation cost we have to consider for bond. When firm issues the bond, there's also a flotation issue. Anyhow, and once we know that, we can put them together, get a weighted average of capital by considering the weight of debt, the cost of debt, and also the weight of equity and cost of equity. And this is the equation. And there is a calculator if it's no preferred stock. Here it is. So you can put the price of the bond information and stock information here. So it has some instructions over here, so you can calculate it, or you can use a template in Excel. And if there's a preferred stock, there's another calculator to do that. Okay, so on average, a firm's WACC could be different among firms, and the cost of capital you see in different industries are different. Advertising industry, the cost of capital on average is close to 7%. Aerospace defense is 7.14. The highest one is utility. The highest one is a railroad, I think. The railroad has the highest WACC. But anyhow, you can find the WACC in my website. I got it from this is a link to find it. No, the link to get to this is here. Here it is. For the company's WACC, so I have some examples here. Lowest WACC of 2018. Companies with the highest and lowest WACC. So the lowest one is this company, 4%. Highest one is this company, 12.77%. Okay. So let's work on this calculator. Work on this mini case. So this is asking you to calculate the WACC step by step. So you can, for the first part, for question number 1, 2, and 3 in A, you can find the answers to these from the PowerPoint. The B, question B here, so it's asking you for the cost of debt. So this is information given. 30 years to maturity, stock bond price is given, coupon is given, and future value is always $1,000. So so it's asking for the returns to the debt, to the bond. So this is cost of debt, just the same like the yield to maturity of bond. So if there is a tax rate, then we have to consider the tax rate. So it's 40%. So there's a risk, there's a tax factor here. So this is after-tax debt. Preferred stock is just using the dividend over the price to get the return, or to get the cost of equity. And there's a flotation cost though. Flotation cost is just firm is charging the fee. Investment bank is charging a fee from the firm to raise preferred stock. So you see the equation would be you need to subtract the flotation cost from the price. So flotation cost is 5% of the stock price. So you use stock price multiplied by 1 minus the flotation rate 5%. So this will give you the after flotation cost price, and then you use this dividend divided by this, so you get the cost of preferred stock. You can, for this question, so you can try the my calculator. It should give you the same results, but the inputs for Excel, you see it's shown here. This is the inputs for Excel. Okay, so the second question, okay, so second, so it just the informations are here, so you just need to consider this is debt, so you need to consider the you just need to consider the debt if it's so this one, preferred stock carries a higher risk to investors. Companies are not required to pay preferred dividend, although firms would typically want to pay preferred dividend. Otherwise, they cannot pay common dividend. So there will be difficulty raising additional fund, and preferred stockholders may gain control of the firm. Corporations own preferred stock. 70% are non-taxable to corporations, therefore has a lower before tax. So for this question, you need to consider the tax rate is 40%. So you need to get the after-tax and preferred stock also. So you see the explanation part provide why you need to consider the tax impact in this. And also you need to consider the after-tax of after-tax cost of debt, and then you compare the two. It will give you the difference between the to get the risk premium on preferred stock for this one. This is the second the second part of C. Okay, let me just stop here and I will continue working on this case study in the next video.